Today, the Clackamas County Board of Commissioners will decide whether to create regulations on short-term rentals.
Fox 12's Deborah Gill joins us now live to show us why some people are really taking issue with some of the rules they've proposed. Deb?
Well, this public is encouraged to attend the meeting to give their feedback on regulating short-term rentals. There are currently no rules for STRs, and the county feels there needs to be for things like noise control, fire safety, adequate parking, and limiting the number of people who can stay in one at one time. These would be for those properties in the unincorporated parts of the county, not in the cities, and that includes many properties in the Mount Hood area, a very popular tourist destination. At the last public hearing last month, people voiced several concerns, one being property owners would be required to put their contact information on signage, public signage for the rental.
I am a single woman, and I am concerned about having my personal name and contact phone number posted outside of my house for anyone to access. Is there any other way for these complaints or comments to be handled rather than me having to provide my personal information for every person or vehicle that passes my personal residence?
After the last hearing, the board directed staff to update the proposed regulations for this second hearing, and this was adjusted to now be the name of the responsible party for an STR would be removed from a sign that's publicly visible from the road. At the public hearing on regulating short-term rentals in unincorporated Clackamas County will be during the regular meeting, and that starts at 10 this morning. Reporting live, Deborah Gill. Good day, Oregon.